Fox Sports Radio.
Hello, is this on?
When sports needs that voice of reason.
Dude, you can't do that.
Only one show is up to the challenge.
You won't be disappointed.
It's the Odd Couple.
Chris Broussard.
I was a star in basketball. Slam it.
Rob Parker.
I don't care what Vegas says.
They're the Odd Couple.
I'm just saying he's okay to be the backup.
No, he's not.
Putting the sensibility back in sports.
The players have a right to be who they are.
Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Right here on Fox Sports Radio. Each week, WWE Friday Night SmackDown is live on Fox. Catch the high-flying superstars as they compete for supremacy in the ring. It's Friday Night SmackDown at 8 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are Fox Sports. And here's what you need to know.
Break up the Minnesota Twins. Today they defeated the Chicago White Sox 10-5. The Twins now on a 10-game winning streak. The Kansas City Royals victorious at Toronto 6-1. The Royals' Michael Massey 4 RBI, including a 3-run home run. Brewers over the Rays 7-1 find a pair of home runs from Willie Adames. Before the contest, Major League Baseball suspended Brewers reliever Abner Uribe 6 games for causing a bench-clearing brawl in last night's game against Tampa Bay. Brewers starting pitcher Freddie Peralta was suspended 5 games. Brewers manager Pat Murphy suspended 2 games. Rays outfielder Jose Siri was suspended for 3 games. On the field right now, the Atlanta Braves have a 5-2 lead at Seattle in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Phillies a 2-1 lead over the Angels in Anaheim in the bottom of the 6th. I'm Isaac Lowen.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in on a Wednesday. Good afternoon. It's always a great day in the Black Hills. Yes, here we go. The Nate Brown Show is live on Fox Sports Rapid City. Let's have some fun today. Some thought-provoking sports talk, a little conversation, some questions of the day. Let's shoot it around. A great guest lineup, including the latest player to come back to South Dakota State trying to three-peat. The Jacks trying to three-peat, and the quarterback, Mark Gronowski, announced yesterday he's coming back, and I'm announcing he's going to come on the show today. Good stuff. We'll have Mark Gronowski and more straight ahead. Here we go. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. A lot of ways you can listen. 106.7 FM, 1150 AM on the radio side. Thanks for tuning us in. Also on your phone, computer at work, foxsportsrapidcity.com. Live stream us there. You're good to go all day. And this show, 4 to 6, weekdays, on Twitter, live in studio at Nate Brown Show. Interact with the show on Twitter X and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. We get people checking in from Minot, North Dakota, all over the place. So we appreciate that at Nate Brown Show. And subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. If you're on YouTube, you watch stuff there. You can find the show, The Nate Brown Show, on YouTube. The Nate Brown Show brought to you in part by Black Hills Urgent Care, our longtime partner, the place you go to get better quicker. Me and my family get in, get out, proudly owned by physicians. Great job, fast, affordable, convenient. Remember Black Hills Urgent Care. If you get sick or your kids get sick, go to bhucare.com. You can check in before you go. Really convenient. You get right in that way. bhucare.com. Black Hills Urgent Care, open 7 days a week on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road on the west side. Black Hills Urgent Care is the faster way to get better for you. Okay, Wednesday's show. Let's look at the lineup, then we'll get popping a little bit. Great guests and content today. Mark Gronowski is going to join us live. I think the first interview since announcing he's coming back, South Dakota State quarterback. So Gronowski's been really good, 2-time national champion, and he's coming back for more. Mark Gronowski, there was some conversation around that. Would he come back? Is he going to transfer this day and age in the portal, you know? But Mark Gronowski's coming back, South Dakota State. They're going to have 30 seniors again on this team. I mean, I was looking at this number, 30 seniors for the Jacks coming back after winning back-to-back titles. Mark Gronowski coming up from Brookings. Sean Keeler's live from Denver. Longtime columnist, denverpost.com. Sean Keeler is in tonight. Frank Schwab also on the way, national NFL writer for Yahoo Sports. We will talk to Matt Zimmer, SiouxFallsLive.com, live from Sioux Falls. Imagine that. And Derek Futterman, brand new to the show. He's a media analyst for Barrett Sports Media. Some interesting headlines when it comes to media rights, teams, and where they're at or where they're not at. Derek Futterman on the way from New York City, Barrett Sports Media. Busy Wednesday show. The guest lineup looks like that. Local, regional, national. Let's get going. Get you on tonight if you want to join the conversation. Always invite you in. 720-1067 is the number. Rapid City's call-in show for you, 720-1067. And the Barron's-Wilson text line ready to go. Direct text the show on the Barron's-Wilson text line. That comes in right here, 720-1067. All right, so let's start here 5 minutes in and tell you what's happening and really see if this is the media hype. Is this a media problem? We love blaming the media. I understand. I know. We gotta be giving hot takes about something. We gotta be enraged about something. We gotta create controversy about something, right? Not really. That's not how I do this show usually. We try and look at some storylines and what's interesting and the whole thing. But the national media gets blamed a lot for writing a story that's controversial and digging into things and just creating a problem over nothing. And sometimes that happens, I will say. I look at this stuff all day, every day. Sometimes that happens. I'm trying to figure out if that's the scenario with what we have cooking again this week. I thought it was going to die down. I thought it was nothing. And now it's cooking. It's like one of the national stories of the week after the NFL draft has settled down that Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and the Colorado Buffaloes are back in the national headlines. And then Prime is creating even more of a stir today. And if you don't live in this world, that's where I bring the world to you. So there was a story this week written in The Athletic by Max Olson, college football writer. I follow him pretty closely. Does a nice job. Max Olson for The Athletic this week wrote a story and talked to all 53 of the players that were cut, essentially transferred out from CU when Deion got there last year. Okay? So this is where this starts today, and then I'll get into what happened today with Coach Prime, literally. Okay, so here's the headlines of the story from Max Olson from The Athletic for CU. What happened to Colorado's castoffs? 1 year later, I caught up with the players who got cut or transferred out after Deion Sanders took over the Buffs. Here's my story on where all 53 of them went and what they went through. And so I'm going to tell you right now, I did not read the entire story by Max Olson. Okay? I mean, I looked at, well, why not? You got to look into this. You got to figure out what happened to all 53 of these players and what happened. There were headlines out of some of their statements that were thrown out. And that's what's gotten everybody's attention right now. I don't need to read through the whole story because I'm going to say I'm going to be blunt here a little bit. I don't really worry about a lot of these guys that transferred out of CU. And I think people say, well, this is the first time this has ever happened. 53 players, and you're not supposed to be able to cut guys in the whole thing. Here's where I'm at on this situation. If we let players transfer freely now, and many people say this is the real good thing about it, you can transfer freely, players can go here and there and everywhere, then I'm not going to feel too bad. I understand some of the guys, maybe they got hosed or a raw deal. I don't know. But I'm not going to feel too bad if coaches can say also, these guys aren't quite up to speed. They won one game. They were 1-11 before I got here. So these guys aren't quite up to speed for where we need to be. And I'm going to do this. So I really wasn't like, oh, I want to get into this athletic story about CU and really find out what happened. I don't think it was a conspiracy. I don't think it was a massive thing that this player got cut because Deion didn't like him. I think Deion came in and said, we're flipping the whole thing. See ya. Brought in his sons. We know the story. Okay? And you could say, did he bring in better players? Well, we'll see. They won 4 games instead of 1. So a little bit better. They still got a ways to go. I'm not going to crown CU today, but I'm not going to get into an athletic story. What happened to Colorado's castoffs? And I'm going to go line by line with 53 of the players. I don't need to do that because I think this is working both ways now. If you want to be fair, players can leave if they can get a better opportunity, and they don't have to be a part of the team or team first or building that culture. They don't have to do that. Why can't coaches decide, well, these players are out and these players are in? Isn't that fair? I know the long history of college athletics is what? If you offer a scholarship, you're not supposed to be able to pull that thing. I understand. I've been there, done that. You're not supposed to be able to cut players. But this is a new world we live in. This is the new world. And I think if players can leave freely, I think coaches can say, hey, we got to get a better guy here, a better guy there. I think, and maybe that's out of bounds, but it's a new world of college sports. If you were once offered a scholarship back in the day, it was very hard for coaches to get rid of you. If you were offered the scholarship, meaning you're on campus, not letter of intent, they actually got you on scholarship, you're in. They can't really go to you and say, you're not a good player now, I want to take your scholarship away. That hasn't happened. Now it's a new world. Players can leave for many reasons. They don't have to meet with coach. They're out. And I think coaches got to have the freedom now to build on that. If I'm losing players because of the transfer portal, how can I not add players? I got to be able to add some different players as well. So I'm not too sorry for Colorado's castoffs. I don't know what happened to all the players. I'm more interested in what happens next. And you know what happened next? Today, people are reacting to this story in The Athletic, and it painted Deion and how he did things in somewhat of a negative light. Some of the players said, he didn't even give me a chance. Didn't even give me a chance. I saw some of the quotes from some of the players that got cut. Didn't give me a chance. Brought me in with another player. Didn't even look at me in the eye. He just kicked me to the curb. That's essentially what some of them said. So that's the negative aspect of it. And now, with that treatment that The Athletic portrayed, how Deion did the whole thing with the players that he cut, now here's what's happened. Those players are still getting ridiculed a little bit online in the world of social media this week. As a matter of fact, today, even Shedeur Sanders, the QB, Deion's son, said, hey, this guy that's saying that stuff, this guy that's saying, I don't even remember him, to be honest. I don't even remember him, to be honest. Must have been pretty mid. You know what mid is in the lingo these days? It must have been pretty mid. So you have Shedeur Sanders bringing it up. Here's the story. The player that got cut said, Deion didn't treat me well. Shedeur Sanders said, I don't even remember you. Must have been pretty mid. And now Deion piles on today. So this is now taken to another level, and I'm going layer by layer. So this is where I want to go with my question of the day. Deion actually got in the mix today, okay, and retweeted one of the former players who only ended up with 8 tackles this past season where he transferred. He transferred to Austin Peay, okay, and he posted a thing there, retweeted his stats, the player that he cut, the players that not at CU, and he had 8 tackles this past year. And Deion essentially retweets that to shine a light on it and belittles the player that's no longer with him, okay? The player said something in the Athletic article that came out this week. Deion piles on after his son Shedeur, called him out a little bit, and here we go, the drama of social media. And my question is that where we want Deion Sanders today? If you're a CU Buffs fan, is that where you want Deion, Coach Prime, spending time? He said today, I was following him all day, I got time today. He said, I got time today. People are reacting to Deion. He's actually arguing with random people. He said, My son's going to be a top 5 pick. Where your son going? And it's just, is that where you want to be? To me, I'm looking at it, I'm going, if my head coach is in this category, I don't really want him there. And I know in our world we say, well, you can't get pushed around. You just can't let the narrative shape things. You got to push back. You got to fight back. I don't want Deion arguing with random guys on Twitter about my son and about the program. I don't want to be in that spot. Because you know what happens today? Guess what? People blame the media. Now, what do you think the national media is doing? Why do you think it was on my feed all day? The national media is hammering Deion today. It's the second headline on ESPN right now. The second headline on ESPN is this. I'll pull it up right now. Coach Prime and son belittle CU transfer. That's the second thing on ESPN headline. And if I'm Deion, I just cool it. Just cool it. We're just adding to the fire. And then Deion says, hey, everybody picks on me and everybody thinks I'm doing a bad job. Just cool it. And I don't think this type of stuff blows up. Thanks for calling. You're live today, and you go ahead.
Well, good afternoon, sir.
How you doing?
I don't want my son on there saying anything. I don't want my players saying anything. More or less me. I just don't get people. I don't know. Like you tell, it just flusters me. But you got to go out there and say, you're Deion.
Yes, yes.
Why can't people just let their work talk for them? I just don't get it.
Well, that's not Deion. You know that.
Well, no, but I mean, Deion, he runs his mouth. But I mean, he doesn't need to say anything to prove if he's good. He's been like everybody. Colorado, what are they like? First, it's you get Deion, and then you get Peyton, and what is it with the people you guys attract them?
Oh, come on! Don't throw me into this. All right. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Thanks for getting in. No, he's just. I think he makes the point. I don't want my coach getting in the mix here. And by the way, if I'm Deion, I call Shedeur and I tell him, just relax. These guys left the program. They're gone. Well, they're talking about us in a story in The Athletic this week that they didn't treat me well and they didn't look at me in the eye and stuff. There's all of these stories that people will say, whenever you transfer, you're not going to be too happy, right? And the way the Colorado thing went, 53 players gone, they're not going to be happy. Just let them go. I just started the show with that. I didn't even want to see the 53 player stories. Not to be mean, it's just, this happens. Meaning players leave, they're gone. They were 1-11. I wasn't going to find out too much more. I'm interested in what happens next. And Deion and Shedeur, to me, just step in it. I mean, they just step in it. Well, no, nobody's going to talk about us. Just cool it. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Deion who?
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, no, the guy's a joke. I mean, great athlete, top 10 all time. Yep. But, who cares?
You don't think he's going to be a good coach? That's what you're
No, I don't, Nate.
You don't.
And let me
just don't like
why.
him. You just don't like him.
Well, I love Larry Bird. He's one of my top 5s. As a coach, he's about number 147.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, Magic Johnson, definitely a top.
Yeah,
6.
Top player. Yep. Not so good on
Put him
the
as a
front
coach,
office.
He
Yeah,
wouldn't win 10 games.
yeah, I got you.
You just can't. Good coaches are them guys that scrub forever. Guys like you and I, Nate.
There you
Put
go.
us in charge. We could run it.
Grinding. By the way, you like getting in back and forth, Steve. So do you want Deion getting in back and forths with people?
No. Good Lord. You're a coach. Act like it.
All right. All right.
I mean, if you got to go around telling people how good you are, or my son's the #1 draft pick. And I've seen his son 2 years now.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Deion said he's going to be a top 5 pick. Where's your son going? That's what he said today.
I know.
All right, buddy. I
Have a great
appreciate it.
day, Nate.
Thanks for getting in. Interesting stuff there from Steve. He said he's not going to be a good coach. And if you're good, why do you have to tell people about it? If you're good, why do you have to tell people about it? Very interesting. So I'm going to ask you this. Let me ask you this. 4:20 here on Wednesday. 4:19. Careful. 4:19 on the Nate Brown Show. How do you view the Deion Sanders tenure at Colorado right now? This is something I was following. I said, well, this is going to be the opener today. Deion's been intriguing to me. It's been very interesting. CU's on the map for the first time in forever. So all of that stuff is intriguing to me. They were the most watched college football program through the first 4 weeks last year. I mean, you guys understand that. They were the most watched college football program on TV through the first 4 weeks. They played at 8:30 p.m. one night, and people watched it like crazy. So this just isn't a upper Midwest thing, a Rockies thing, a South Dakota, Colorado. No, CU's on the map. So Deion's done that. He's done that. Now I feel like there's been this transition where he's gone from intriguing, interesting star. He's doing things old school. He likes having discipline. This is the Deion I remembered coming from Jackson State. Not wanting his guys to miss class, holding them accountable, and all of those stories. And now it's, to me, has turned into circus story. It's what else is going to happen now? You got Shedeur saying this, and now Deion's got to get on Twitter today and say this. There's been a shift there, and not for the better to me, and not for the better for Deion and the program. And I'm wondering why. Where does that come from? I know Deion's a star, loud, marketable. He's done the whole thing for CU. If I'm him, I just put my nose down. We get new players in here. We keep rolling. I know my son's going to be a great NFL player. Let's do the quiet stuff well. And it's just turned into, they said this about us. Now I'm going to say this on Twitter today. It was a mess today. How do you view the tenure of Deion Sanders at Colorado? Still very interesting or negatively now? That's my question of the day as we start. I'll throw this up on Twitter and get some reaction. Do you view it interesting or negative? Thanks for calling. You're live and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. What do you think?
Good. So Deion, it's a culture thing for starters. A lot of us maybe don't understand that part of it, but I did see an interview with it. Well, it wasn't an interview. It was just a video segment of some of his student athletes were being disrespectful to the teachers.
Yep.
They weren't getting the homework done. And he said, I'm here to make you a football player and a man. If I can't make you a football player, I'm sure going to make you a man.
Yes.
So, like,
I like that stuff. I like that stuff.
100%. And a lot of these kids, and it's not just the kids at Colorado, it's kids all over the place, are getting a dose of reality, really. Like these kids that are saying, I didn't get the time of day, whatever, you probably weren't a number one or top 5-star recruit. Like,
yes,
sorry about
correct,
it. That's
correct.
the reality.
It was a bad program.
Like,
yes.
Nobody's going to give you a charity contract in the NFL, and nobody's going to give you a charity spot on a football team unless you're playing for, like, I don't know, like Joe Schmo U somewhere.
But here's my issue. Now, those guys say a couple of things, and him and his son react today. And it's like, I don't need it. I don't need that.
Yeah, that for sure. But again, it's a little bit of a culture difference. I think that's kind of the way the athletes are anymore. Like you clap back. Like it's like pitchers and batters. If you get hit, you be sure somebody on the other team is going to get plunked. So it's like it's just a different version of that. Like,
yeah, he's telling them,
but
well, you're not good enough for us.
Sport.
It wasn't us. It was you. That's what he's saying. You know.
Yeah, and it's like, again, I don't agree with it. I think you could take the high road, but there's definitely a lot of people that are clapping for the other side too. So,
all right, buddy.
I think we might be a little bit get off my lawn on the topic, but
really
anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Thanks, man.
So
I appreciate that.
Have a good one.
It's interesting. Here's where I am at on this, and I if it's get off my lawn, here's where I'm at. I don't want my coach ridiculing college athletes, like student athletes from other schools. That's kind of I'm going to draw that line. So I think Deion stepped over the line there. It's not going to be the end of the world, but it just puts Deion's brand in a little bit of a different category. His brand's been really strong, I think, still. CU's been intriguing, interesting. Everybody wants to know, can Deion get this going? And Shedeur Sanders, and they're flashy. And, I mean, it's off the charts. And you got to be careful when you do stuff like this, retweeting and ridiculing another athlete who left your program, showing his stats as 8 tackles last year. I don't want my head coach basically throwing shade to a player that's gone. In the FCS even, some of these guys. Okay? I don't want that. So that's the scenario to me. It's not going to, turn over the apple cart and the whole thing, but it's a big headline, and I think Deion was in the headlines for the right reasons. He's getting to the line for the wrong reasons, I think. And the media loved Deion right away, and then this whole thing, everybody's against me, everybody's writing stories about me, now it's going to start turning a little bit, and you got an issue, which I don't want to see. Because there's great stuff, I think, from Deion's older days, Jackson State, the discipline, the recruitment, the relationships, how he got these guys prepared and winning and bringing in. It's not about me and his program. It's not. I like that stuff, but I think stuff, clapping back and having to argue with random people on Twitter, I don't want that. If I have my head coach, I don't want that. It's Deion Sanders. Give me a break. It's like Kevin Durant, just really soft, having to argue with everybody and stick up for yourself. How do you view the Deion Sanders tenure at Colorado right now? Boy, it's a close vote. 720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line. Let me know what you say. Is the tenure very interesting or negative? How do you view Deion Sanders' tenure at CU right now? Interesting or negative? 51% interesting, 49% negative. A split crew today. Very interesting. Well, I want to talk to Sean Keeler. He's covered Deion. He's been at the press conferences. So he's right in the middle of this. Sean Keeler's covered the Buffaloes for the Denver Post. What's his read on the program? Next.
Did you miss an interview or great segment on The Nate Brown Show? Just find The Nate Brown Show podcast and listen wherever you download your podcasts.
Looking for a career? Look no further. Pete Lean & Sons has immediate openings for ready-mix concrete delivery drivers. No CDL? No problem. We offer paid training, competitive hourly rates, and full-time hours. Plus, Pete Lean & Sons offers excellent benefits, including a low-deductible health insurance plan and a 401k with a generous company match. At Pete Lean & Sons, team members can also grow and develop their trade while supporting local communities. These are all reasons why employees hired at Pete Lean & Sons want to retire at Pete Lean & Sons. Apply now at PeteLean.com.
Cadillac Jacks is proud to present The Book, the newly renovated sports book at Cadillac Jacks Gaming Resort. Powered by BetMGM, The Book offers every wager allowed under South Dakota law. Bring your friends and grab a luxury cedar party table and surround yourself with brand new giant TVs playing all games you want to see. Order your favorite brews and cocktails and enjoy delicious food from the new Guadalajara's Mexican restaurant. Experience The Book at Cadillac Jacks Gaming Resort. How will your bets pay out?
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Thunderstorms likely tonight, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Lows dip down to about 36. Winds out of the northwest, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain showers tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 58. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Mainly clear skies. Tomorrow night, lows level off around 33. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 54.
Pumps Tire Service is your low-price headquarters for all major tire brands. We buy tires manufactured direct and sell to you for less. Right now, get up to $250 in rebates on Hankook, up to $240 in rebates on Goodyear, up to $170 in rebates on Bridgestone, or up to $160 in rebates on Firestone. Pumps Tire won't be undersold. Hurry, offers end May 31st. See store for details. Visit us online at pumpstire.com. Pumps, we know tires and service. You should know Pumps.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Getting heard weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show, off and running on a Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. Stream us on your phone, work computer. Oh, is that okay? FoxSportsRapidCity.com. Live stream us there all day long. Question of the day. How do you view the tenure of Deion Sanders at Colorado right now? Very interesting or negatively? Question of the day. Listener text coming in. I'm a CU fan. I would really like Deion to quit stooping to that level on social media. Okay. Listener text. We all can get lost and disoriented in the spotlight. Prime will be okay. He can handle the hate. So a mixed bag on the question of the day. Sean Keeler's in, columnist, DenverPost.com. He's been at some of those pressers with Deion and CU covering the Buffs. DenverPost.com. Sean, good to have you back. How are you?
Good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. There's always something going on, so I said,
oh my goodness. When do we sleep down here, my friend?
Let's get Sean on. You've been at these press conferences. You've been covering the program. So the latest is the Athletic writes a piece on Colorado's transfers or cuts, however you want to say it, 53 players. And they say stuff. Deion didn't look at me in the eye. He didn't treat me well, and stuff like that. Then Shedeur says, I don't even remember this guy. Must have been mid. Deion quote tweets the stats from last year, 8 tackles of his former player. And we're to that today. So who's really creating the mess? The media or who?
Oh, they tell you it's our fault. Because it always is. No, I think honestly, God, there's a billion ways to go at this. We don't have an hour. We could do an hour. We could do the worst, most boring hour of your life. Everybody is in the wrong and everybody's right. That's one quick way to sum it up. Because was Xavier Wright going to play? No. Did Cormani McClain, the 5-star who left a couple weeks ago, was he a great citizen all the time? No. Is this program kind of a clown show? Yes. All those things are true. And the thing with the Athletic piece is blowing up, and no offense to Max Olson, I invite everyone to go to Google and do Sean Keeler's CU transfers. You will find that I wrote this exact same stuff with a gentleman named Grant Page a year ago, and it blew up.
Very good.
So this isn't news to us here. I guess it's just news in the sense that we're circling around again and that 24 more guys have left. So, I mean, the short answer is everybody's right. All those things are true. This is a nice – apparently Xavier Wright's a nice kid. He wasn't going to play. He wasn't happy about it. So that's true. That's fine. That what Steve said, what fuels the fire? I think what gets under people's skin is that Shedeur acts like everyone is beneath him because we are, and the coach acts like everyone is beneath him because we have been for 5 decades. That's what's different. Is Nick Saban isn't going to go on Twitter and say, you suck. This is not the world on which he lives. But Deion will if he feels clearly there's some threat that he didn't feel a year ago at this time because everyone went, wow, it's a 1-11 team, you got to clean it out. And now that these 1-11 guys are like really coming after him, now you're going to have, and this isn't the first, now you're going to have more 4-8 guys from last year going, yeah, this is a mess. It's not going to get any better in that sense. And I think he's going to have to do more damage control, but I don't think he knows how to do damage control. He just knows how to snark back and try to get the last word.
Okay, Sean Keeler's on DenverPost.com. He's written on the Buffs a lot. Columnist, find him on Twitter, X at Sean Keeler. So I started my show with this, and I said, Deion at Jackson State was intriguing to me. Old school disciplinarian, kids go to class, creating a culture. He did old school stuff that a lot of people really liked. Now he goes to Colorado. He might be doing the same stuff, but to me, there's been a shift in how people are viewing him. What's the story? Why is that?
I think they're still doing a lot of that stuff. I told you, I think last time we talked, last week or 10 days ago, you go into one of the meeting rooms and it's written on the board still, which may be for our purposes, don't be late, don't wear chains, don't wear earrings, call your mama, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think he believes those things. But what you run into, again, and I know I said this to you before, this is what you got to keep in mind, and this was true at Jackson State, is that there are 2 strike zones. There's like 6 strike zones. Now, that's true everywhere. But the degree to which it is true, and I talked to a former college football coach about this morning. He's like, it's perfect. Let's put it this way. It's perfectly normal that, pick your head coach, Kirk Ferentz at Iowa, doesn't care about 50 of those kids, right? Like he does, but does he know? He cares about the 45 who are going to impact the season. Here's what's different about Deion Sanders. He cares about 9 guys. And 2 of them are his kids, and one of them is Travis Hunter. And when I suggested it was 9 or 10 guys, this coach said to me, no, it may be less. It may be like 6. That's what's fundamentally different. And so when you have these max exoduses, it's because he absolutely didn't know their name, and he did not care. And now he's having to look up and go, oh, you were so-and-so. You weren't going to play. And then it just turns into this spite thing that he just can't back away from because he's Deion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's interesting. It's a good insight into this because people are saying, what's the real Deion? Is he, because he says, I want to make these guys into men. I want to make these guys into leaders. No. Are you saying that's not right?
No. He wants to make his kids rich. That's what he wants. Put that on your Twitter. Deion Sanders has this job to make his kids richer than they already will. And they're already rich. That's what's hilarious to me. He wants Shedeur to be a top 2 draft pick. He wants his TV show to be the #1 show on Amazon Prime. And he wants Shiloh to get drafted, preferably by day 1 or 2. That's why he took this job. He doesn't care about Colorado. He doesn't care about Boulder. He doesn't care about Peggy the Ole.
Oh.
He doesn't give a darn.
Okay.
He is in it for him, and he always has been. And so I have to laugh at people going, how dare he? I'm like, this guy hasn't changed. And next year, when he's gone, probably, though he denies it, you're going to see what his true colors are. And they're not black and gold.
Okay, he responded to a random person on Twitter who called out Shedeur. He said, my son will be a top 5 pick. Where's your son going? I mean,
again, I'll defer to my previous comment. I'll say this too, and I've said it on the record. He's a Hall of Fame dad. I would love it if Deion Sanders was my father. I don't know that I'd love it if he were my football coach.
Very, very good stuff. Sean Keeler on DenverPost.com. One more on Colorado, then I'll go to the Broncos really quick since I have you. On this Buffs thing, you mentioned it a little bit. People are talking more about this. What happens next? Meaning, Shedeur, he says, going to be a top 5 pick. Maybe he is. What happens after Shedeur and Shiloh leave, honestly? Do you believe it's Deion is going to be out?
I think he retires if you're making me bet with your money, but I'm having my doubts. There's just enough stubborn in him to see out the last 3 years of that contract. But
just to call out people that say, oh, he's in it for himself a little bit?
Yeah, I go back to when things like this happen, I go back to my first instinct. I would say watch the 25 and 26 recruits. Last I checked, he's got 3 prep commitments on 25. He's got 1 on 26, and you can say that doesn't mean the paper it's printed on now, but they put a little more stock into that, but they haven't put a lot. And I'll stand by this too. We talked about it. the portal thing, the 30 in, 30 out a year is cool, but it's not sustainable. You can't build and grow an offensive and defensive line that way. You just can't.
Okay, how would you answer my question of the day, Sean? I said, how do you view Deion Sanders' tenure at Colorado? Very interesting or negatively? What do you think?
I'd still say interesting.
Okay.
I mean, you've got a team that may only win 5 to 7 games. That will be the first thing people talk about. I mean, they made the cover of, I can say the cover of SI doesn't mean what it used to. You can say that a lot about all of our legacy media, but he's done the job, at least half the job so far, and he's got to prove it on the field with wins and losses now.
All right, last one for Sean Keeler. He's covered the Buffs. Follow him at Sean Keeler. Find him at denverpost.com. One on the Broncos. So I'm not sure where you're standing here. Broncos go Bo Nix, and Sean Payton has said, this is the guy we really wanted. I'm like, well, of course he's going to say that, but are you buying it?
No. I only buy about 30% of what Sean Payton said. Wait, no, 40? It's a pretty low percentage. Yeah, he was a better option than having to answer questions for the next 5 years as to why the Raiders got Bo Nix at 13. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
so he had to do it
with the pick. Yeah, it was like, if we don't do this, because Denver and quarterbacks are an interesting relationship, good and bad. That he's like, look, I think I can. There's enough here. To Bo Nix's credit, he said, look, there's enough here that if we've got to shove anybody in there week 1 or week 2, we could do that with him. And given that he's 24, we probably should. But was he their first choice or even their third? No. I mean, he might have been their 4th or 5th, but I think that was a defensive pick, and now it's up to them to make it offensive on the field.
denverpost.com, that's the place. Columnist Sean Keeler. Always great, Sean. Thanks.
Take care, buddy. See ya.
Appreciate it. Sean Keeler in tonight from Denver. Columnist for the Denver Post. Some tough words for Deion there. Tough words for Deion. My goodness. Okay, I have an announcement. On Bo Nix. If you've listened to the show, the type of players I like, okay? Character, leadership, maturity, teammate, okay? That seems like it's Bo Nix. That seems like it's Bo. Not a problem, not a me guy, humility. I'm going to like that. That really, really is big for me. So as much as I looked at, I wanted J.J. McCarthy because I think he had the same qualities, Michael Penix, and I thought they were just better players. I'm going to hang my hat. Bo Nix, very easy guy to root for. I'm ready to roll. I'm going to go to a Broncos game, lock it in. I'm going to go into a Broncos game again because Bo Nix is the leader of the team now. He's going to be the QB, and I'm not going to bang on Sean Payton and the whole thing. I think it was I had to do this pick, not this was our plan all along. I still think that's the case. So we can argue about how it got done, but I'm not going to be arguing against Bo Nix because character, teammate, leadership, the way carries himself, competitiveness, seriousness about playing football and not being a me guy. I like that guy. So I like those guys. It's Josh Allen for me. I love him. Bo Nix seems like quality guy. So if I got him as a QB, that's easy guy to root for. So I'm in on the Nix train, not sarcastically. I'm all in on Bo Nix. I'm worried about our team and if he's good enough to elevate everybody like everybody wants all the time. But I'm in, rooting for him hard. I'll be getting my tickets to the Broncos. Okay? Just a little announcement here today. Okay? Mark Gronowski's coming up. Speaking of a good leadership guy, a quality guy, boy, Mark Gronowski's led South Dakota State to back-to-back FCS titles. And he announced he's coming back to the Jackrabbits for another season at quarterback. What went into it? His first interview. Mark Gronowski announced it yesterday, and he's live on the Nate Brown Show from Brookings next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch the show live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show.
The wait is over. Ensemble entry doors exclusively from Renewal by Andersen have arrived with an incredible offer. Secure, timeless style, elegant features, customized countless ways with the legendary quality of Renewal by Andersen. Right now, you get 20% off every Ensemble entry door. No money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. No payments for a year. Please scan the QR code on your screen or visit RBARapidCity.com now to book your free estimate. Ensemble entry doors, the wait is over.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Do something special for Mom on Mother's Day and bring her to the Horseshoe Restaurant at First Gold Gaming Resort. Our staff has prepared the perfect meal that includes slow-roasted USDA prime rib, 2 pieces of our famous fried chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, corn, and a homemade dessert. Just $20.95 for adults, half price for kids 4 to 12, and free for children 3 and under. It's a delicious and affordable way to celebrate Mother's Day. Serving from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. at the Horseshoe Restaurant inside First Gold Gaming Resort.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
We're talking with Britt Wickett at Elevate Performance Physical Therapy for an Elevate Performance Health Minute. Britt, one of the injuries we hear a lot about in sports, an ACL tear. You can't prevent all injuries, but good sports performance training could help.
Yeah, Nate, one of the things that a lot of good sports performance training focuses on is trying to not only prepare athletes for the field of sport, but also try to mitigate their risk to sustain an injury. Unfortunately, things happen in sport. If anybody ever does experience an ACL tear, that results in needing surgery to fix that, it's important to have a therapist on your side who can help them through prehab, rehab, and then return to sport. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes a long time to get back to the field of sport, but it's not impossible to do it all by any means. So just having that end goal in mind can be really beneficial for the rehab process.
When it comes to ACLs and sports performance training and treatment, get started at elevateperformancesd.com.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live weekdays 4 to 6 here in the Black Hills on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. On the radio side, you can stream us anywhere. FoxSportsRapidCity.com. Live stream the show right there. The Black Hills Sports Station heard wherever you want to listen at FoxSportsRapidCity.com. Bring us up on Twitter right now at Nate Brown Show. Interact with the show. Watch us live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. How about we get him Mark Gronowski? What a player. South Dakota State quarterback, back-to-back national champion. And he's coming back to the Jacks. Big announcement yesterday. And he's here on the Nate Brown Show talking Jacks football. Mark, good to get you back on. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for your time. It's busy. You got finals. You got all that stuff you're trying to lock in here as May gets going. So let me ask you why you announced it yesterday. You said, hey, time to do it. Make it official. I'm back. Why'd you do it yesterday?
Yeah, no, I was getting lots of questions throughout the entire spring, lots of speculation that was going out on Twitter, a lot of different articles that I've seen. But with recent changes to the guidelines with being a graduate and being a grad transfer, if that was the case, there was no deadline. But recently, earlier April, they ended up creating a deadline for the end of the portal for graduates as well. So yesterday was kind of the deadline, and I needed to make a decision, and that was the reason behind it.
Okay, so your decision is you're coming back to be the quarterback for South Dakota State again. You're going to try and three-peat this thing. Tell everybody why that was the place. You've been there. You've been the leader. There's probably other opportunities, Mark, if we're honest, but why are you coming back?
Yeah, and there's many opportunities, like you said, that I could have been going somewhere else. But the two major things that I really was focused on was, one being what was going to be the best opportunity to improve my draft stock. And I talked to a lot of scouts. I talked to a lot of agents, family, mentors, and they all kind of said that staying at South Dakota State is not going to hurt your stock at all. It can actually really improve it. And those goals of trying to get to an all-star bowl game, get into the combine, getting drafted, we can do all those things at South Dakota State. And that's one of the cool things. And you got to see that through, Mason McCormick this past week and Isaiah Davis. And I really like what we have here as a team, and I feel like we can really have another great year. And then that was one of the big things. And then also kind of going into it, with the opportunities that were coming in, it was really kind of deciding on, is that life-changing money that was coming in? And not like a short-term award, but something that was really going to set me up for a long time. But that was kind of the two big things. But overall, I really felt like South Dakota is like home to me. It's really like a family. I left a lot of money out there by doing this and staying at home, and I know that. But I'm hoping that, we just opened up a new 605 collective. Hopefully it can produce a lot for SDSU football, and all that ultimately staying and having the opportunity to win a national championship as well was a big thing for me.
Mark Gronowski on tonight, quarterback, South Dakota State. Glad to have him on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. He returns trying to three-peat, national champion in the FCS. And as you said, Mark, you've graduated the whole thing, so you have some opportunities out there. Let's get into that because it's a new world. Guys are getting offers. Tucker Kraft got the same thing. I know this. I had Tucker on the show. He said, man, there was a big offer there. He decided to come back. He gets drafted by the Packers. He's a player. So I'm going to ask you about the FCS NIL opportunities. It's probably not huge. Like the collective is just getting going, so it's not huge. But do you think that's key for not just you, but other players, an FCS collective to try and keep players?
Yeah, I think it's huge. It's not going to be millions of dollars or anything by that means, but it's just kind of being able to help players pay for extra groceries, or even just allowing them to do a little extra fun things on the side that they want to do. And I think it's a big help, and everyone's always kind of looking for it, and it kind of gives a little bit extra. What's the term I'm thinking of? Just a reward, I guess, for being and staying at an FCS school. But right now, we've been kind of working out some different NIL deals. Like, I have a couple in town with some different restaurants, and I even just ended up starting one today with a suit company down in Sioux Falls. So, there's a bunch of them that have been kind of arising, and I really like what the people of South Dakota State, Sioux Falls, Brookings area is really trying to contribute towards NIL for our team.
Yeah, I think that's a key. It may not be able to keep up with the big boys, but it may be able to keep some guys that have been loyal, that want to stay there. So I looked at the roster here, Mark. What is it, 30 seniors? I think there's 30 guys. You guys are on the cusp of a three-peat here. How good is this team, do you think, when you look across the board?
I think this team's really, really great. And, what's very interesting is, a lot of people have said that we've had such a good team, such a great supporting cast around me to help me succeed, help our team succeed. And there's a lot of people talking about how we kind of fell off with all the guys that we lost, all the starters we lost. But I'm really excited for all these young guys that have been really waiting for an opportunity, kind of chomping at the bit to finally get their starting spot. And I think there's a lot of great young talent. Just looking even just at the receiving and receivers and tight ends, you got Davin Stoffel, Griffin Wilby kind of shined a little bit early last year, but those are some of the guys that are really going to take off this year offensively. And defensively, we're not really changing much. The scheme's still there, and we got lots of guys that are ready to step up and step up to the challenge.
Okay, so there's going to be a change for you. You're coming back, but you lost your OC. And that's a scenario for a QB. It's like, okay, who am I going to be getting in here? Am I going to be familiar with the system? Is anything going to change there?
Yeah, I don't think anything really will. Olsen has been here for every year that I've been here, every year that I've played. So I have had a great relationship with him, and he knows the offense really, really well. Obviously, there's going to be little different wrinkles here and there, but that was also one of the key factors of me staying as well, because, I mean, I built a good relationship with him. I built a great relationship with Coach Freund, who's the new quarterback coach, and they're going to allow me to be really involved with the offense this year and really give me a lot of input on what I want to do, what I think is best for the team as well, which is going to be pretty cool.
Mark Gronowski on the Nate Brown Show. A couple more. I'll let him run. Studying for finals, man. He's got important work to do. South Dakota State quarterback. He's coming back. So I'm going to look at it. NFL draft. You want to be a guy. South Dakota State now, last couple of years, had some guys drafted. So you want to be the quarterback drafted. What have people told you, Mark, about, hey, maybe do this, you need to get better at this? Because I look, high efficiency, completion percentage, you're very productive, low turnover rate. What do people want from you?
Yeah, and that's a really interesting conversation to have, and you really kind of have to look a lot internally and be able to respect feedback from other people, and I feel like I've done a good job of that. Still going to try and learn as much as possible throughout this summer, talking with different agents, talking with different scouts. But one of the big things is trying to just quicken the release a little bit this offseason, continue to be faster with that, and then just being really intentional about accuracy and not really going through the motions when you're even playing catch, but really trying to pinpoint every single throw you're making to be that much better accuracy-wise.
What'd you tell your teammates that got drafted? I saw McCormick, the first off the board. Isaiah Davis gets going, and then some undrafted free agent guys, your receivers, the Yankee twins. What'd you tell these guys?
Man, I was so excited for them. I was at Mason McCormick's draft party, actually, and it was just really cool to see. And I mean, I got a little emotional because I've been playing with these guys for the past 4 years, and it's somewhere where I want to be, and it's cool to see guys that I've played with for so long finally come to fruition of what they've been working so hard to do. And I kind of just kept telling all of them that I was super proud of them. I love them, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do at the next level, because they got all those guys got all the tools to be successful.
Mark Gronowski on tonight, quarterback, South Dakota State. Last one, Mark. What's it been about South Dakota State that's allowed you to flourish? What have you liked about it? Coach Stig was there early. Then you had another coach. He was there. I mean, he's been there, right? So it's been comfortable. But what have you liked the most about South Dakota State, the program?
Gosh, there's just so many things, and I think it starts with Stig first off, and just creating the culture that we have as a team. And it's like it's a team that I've never been a part of outside of this team, and it's been so great. The people outside of South Dakota State, just all the support that we have, the love from all the fans, packing the stadium pretty much every single week. But I think it really has to start with the guys that are just around you in the locker room, just enjoying your time together. You got guys that are really striving to be the best version of themselves every single day, and that's what I want in a teammate, and that's what I want to be, people that I want to be around. So that's got to be the greatest thing that a teammate can ask for from you, is just trying to make sure that you're bringing your best every single day, and that's one of the greatest things we had at South Dakota State.
Do you think that's why a lot of the guys haven't transferred, Mark, honestly? I mean, I've seen programs lose players. SDSU's lost some, but not very many.
Yeah, and I think that's a key factor, just how close-knit of a team that we are, and the ability that we have to hold others accountable and strive to be the best version of ourselves while also pushing other people. And I think a key factor as well is just knowing that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And the success that we've had here, I mean, we can just continue to have success and build that up, because, I mean, you want to stay where you're loved. You want to be a part of. You want to build a legacy. You want to share that among the younger guys, and I think that's a big factor of why everyone keeps continuing to stay here, and we're not losing guys to the portal.
I'll tell you what, you've had a great career, and back for more. One more year with Mark Gronowski as the head quarterback, man, the leader, the head of the team, South Dakota State quarterback Mark Gronowski on tonight. He announced yesterday he's coming back for the Jacks. Mark, good to talk to you. Look forward to watching you, man. I enjoy talking with you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Appreciate you having me on.
Thanks for your time. Mark Gronowski on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Good discussion. This is good stuff from the South Dakota State quarterback. What a player. And he's been a great leader. Athletic, can sling it, just does a lot of stuff really well. One of the best quarterbacks, you would say, would he be the best in the FCS? I think so. NFL draft prospect. And offers out there, he said. There was offers, money. And Mark Gronowski said, well, we're going to hang tight here. We're going to go back to South Dakota State for one more year. The Jacks trying to three-peat. Mark Gronowski on tonight. First interview after his announcement here on the Nate Brown Show. Good stuff. Coming back with Frank Schwab. Let's go NFL. YahooSports.com. Frank Schwab on the way.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
The wait is over. Ensemble entry doors exclusively from Renewal by Andersen have arrived with an incredible offer. Secure, timeless style, elegant features, customized countless ways with the legendary quality of Renewal by Andersen. Right now, you get 20% off every Ensemble entry door, no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months, no payments for a year. Please scan the QR code on your screen or visit RBARapidCity.com now to book your free estimate. Ensemble entry doors, the wait is over.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Customer service and knowledge. You expect it, and we provide it. As a general insurance agency, Fisher Rounds & Associates has aligned itself with the nation's strongest carrier networks, giving you the highest quality coverage at the best possible price. When it comes to claims or other issues, we handle everything so you don't have to. That's what we mean when we say we're at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, proudly serving South Dakota with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Rapid City, Sioux Falls, and Watertown.
Hi, it's Nate Brown for Black Hills Community Bank. If you run your own company or you're looking to start a small business here in the Black Hills, you want to make sure you choose the right banking partner, and I know the right choice for business is Black Hills Community Bank. They have plenty of banking options to suit your specific needs, and Black Hills Community Bank is here to help business owners thrive and to make sure you have the support and tools to help your business grow. Just contact one of their business loan experts today or visit bhcbank.com. Member FDIC.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Hey, this is Rob Parker from The Odd Couple. Don't miss our show weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now we'll send you back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Rapid City on a Wednesday. Packed lineup tonight. Just got done with Mark Gronowski, his first interview since announcing yesterday he's coming back to South Dakota State. The quarterback for the Jacks, NFL prospect, had NIL deals on the table to transfer to the big boys. He says no, he's going to come back to South Dakota State. That's good stuff. Two-time national champion, FCS level. Mark Gronowski joined us moments ago. Quality conversation. Yesterday we had Tip Ryman on. Tip Ryman from Rapid City played at St. Thomas More, walked on at Illinois, and just got drafted by the Cardinals, third round, tight end. We had Tip Ryman yesterday. Good stuff this week on Fox Sports Rapid City. Let's go talk NFL draft a little bit with Frank Schwab, NFL writer yahoosports.com, his coverage there. Frank, good to have you. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm doing good, man. I want to get your reaction to a lot of stuff. Let's start in Denver. I've hit on it the last couple of days. The Broncos going Bo Nix. And I've talked to people that cover the Broncos strictly. Okay, Sean Payton said, this is the guy that we wanted. They're not going to say anything else. And Colin Cowherd did a segment on it today. He said, well, this is the guy they wanted. This is the guy. So tell me what you think of that statement. I don't know what else you would say because you take him, and now he's going to be the guy.
I believe the only time, and I'm not even trying to make a joke here, but it'll be a joke, the only time I've heard a coach say, I didn't want this guy, I wanted someone else, was Urban Meyer when he said he wanted Kadarius Toney, but he went like a pick ahead of Jacksonville. And he openly complained about it, which is example number 5,872 that Urban Meyer was so far in over his head. But I digress. Whatever they say is fine. I do believe they like Bo Nix.
Okay.
You wouldn't draft a guy 12 if you didn't at least think he could function in your system pretty well. I didn't hate the pick at all. All of a sudden, we're just deciding that Bo Nix is trash, and how dare you draft him? Was he overdrafted? Yes, he was. For all these people to say, oh, just trade down and draft him then. What if the Raiders pick him? What if the Raiders really liked him? Then you're stuck with Jared Stidham at quarterback for a year when maybe you did like Bo Nix. Maybe Sean Payton really did think this guy could run my system really well. He's a guy who finished second in the Heisman Trophy balloting last year, has a lot of experience under his belt, played well, obviously. I thought it was fine. I'm not over the moon for it. I don't think Bo Nix is going to win MVP this year or anything. But for everybody just slamming this pick, I don't get it. I think it was perfectly reasonable to take Bo Nix. Yes, you had to overdraft him, but the Michael Penix thing kind of threw a wrench into everybody's plans. I'm fine with it. I think Bo Nix is going to be actually a pretty good fit with Denver.
You wonder, what if the Vikings didn't take J.J. McCarthy? You think the Broncos are still Bo Nix? That's my question.
I think they take McCarthy, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? We will never know. Teams just that information just doesn't get out very often. But I do believe that, yes, I think they would have gone McCarthy because McCarthy's a little bit better. But this is a really good quarterback class, and that's okay. No, not all six are going to hit, but we also don't know which of these guys are going to hit and which won't. So we'll see. But as far as Broncos and Knicks goes, no problem with that. I think it was a perfectly reasonable pick.
Okay, so the match with Sean Payton, people are saying, is good. He plays like Sean Payton wants to play. He's going to get it out quick. Sean draws up the play. Bo's going to execute it, not create his own thing. So that's all there. My deal is, do you expect Bo Nix to be better than Russell Wilson? I mean, we got to remember, this is what the Broncos did. Russell gone to get Bo Nix.
Really interesting. I guess just as you mentioned, as you say it, I don't know. It's a hard question because what do we make of Russell Wilson? That's kind of the whole thing here. Russ was solid last year, but he wasn't anything great. And, you factor in the contract and all that kind of stuff. Do I think Bo Nix can be better? I guess I have to say yes. Just because Russ wasn't that good. He was fine. His numbers looked fine. But I don't think anybody was, and I don't think anybody's going to be, if Bo Nix fails, I don't think anybody in Denver is going to be saying, oh, we long for the days of Russell Wilson and what he brought in 2023.
You do not think Sean Payton would draft another QB if this one season is really bad with Bo Nix, do you?
I think he could. I don't think one season, not the Josh Rosen thing, but look, the NFL's just changed that way. The NFL's changing in that 2 years, 3 years, we're fine moving on a quarterback if we don't think it's your guy. Sometimes you're going to make a mistake. Ask the Browns if they could rewind the clock and have Baker Mayfield right now rather than Deshaun Watson. I think they'd do that 100 out of 100 times when you consider everything they gave up. But I think that it's just, this whole notion that you got to give a quarterback 4 or 5, 6 years, it's just not true anymore. I don't know if you move on after one, unless it's just with the Cardinals situation when that happened, it was an extreme situation. A guy, they landed the first pick. Kyler Murray was right there, was a good fit for the system. Josh Rosen showed nothing, and so they just said, whatever, we're moving on. Could that happen with Denver? Could they get the first pick and they just love Carson Beck or Shedeur Sanders or whoever the flavor of the month is going to be next April. Yeah, it could. I can't rule it out, but I'm not exactly forecasting it either.
Frank Schwab on tonight, YahooSports.com, national NFL writer here on the Nate Brown Show. So let's go to the J.J. McCarthy deal. Vikings get him, don't have to trade up very far, one pick, that's it. So they get McCarthy. The reports are they really wanted Drake May and were trying to get him at number 3, didn't get it done. So how much pressure on the Vikings to play McCarthy quickly? Because they got Sam Darnold. They're paying him quite a bit.
Yeah, I just think that it's almost like the Pittsburgh a couple years ago. Not that this turned out well, but you start Mitch Trubisky because, you just don't want to throw Kenny Pickett right in there. And then you realize after like 3 games that Mitch Trubisky is just hard on the eyes and you just can't do it anymore. I think that's what could happen in Minnesota. They could start Sam Darnold week 1, they could start in week 2, and then by about, mid-September, late September, they're going to have to be looking at the bench and saying, well, JJ's ready or not, he's got to play because we can't deal with this anymore. We're trying to win football games here. So I think JJ McCarthy starts by October. Let's put it that way. I don't know that necessarily he starts week 1. He probably should. I think quarterbacks get better by playing. I know Jordan Love succeeded. I know other guys have failed when they played right away, but I do believe quarterbacks get better by playing. I think McCarthy's better than Sam Darnold right now as we sit here on May 1st, and why wait? But look, Kevin O'Connell is a smart guy. That was a pretty sharp franchise, I think, and if they decide, hey, we've looked at the history and all this kind of stuff, we don't think J.J. McCarthy's ready, then he's going to sit a while. But I just don't think that it can last long term because Sam Darnold, are you really going to play that guy? You really going to play that guy for 2 months while you're 1-7? I don't really think so.
Yeah, and I don't think the fans are going to – they're not going to be on board with that either.
No.
Let me get your read on Drake May at New England. That roster's tough, Frank. I mean, they're not great, and they're not good, I don't think. And Drake May's going to have to roll in there. Is this setting him up for what?
Yeah, it could be, but I don't think you can worry about that either. I don't think you can go into a draft and say, well, we don't have enough around a quarterback. We can't draft this quarterback who we think is a franchise quarterback. They clearly thought he was a franchise quarterback. I mean, if you believe the reports, ESPN Jeremy Fowler, great reporter, said the Vikings offered basically 3 first-round picks, the 2 this year and the 1 next year. And the New England Patriots said no. That leads me to believe that they think Drake May is a franchise quarterback. You don't pass that. You just don't. There's no reason we're paying these guys $55 million a year. It's the most valuable position in sports. And if you think Drake May is the answer, and the Vikings were trying to get up and get him, the Giants were trying to get up and get him, there's at least 2 teams, and probably more, trying to get in that 3 spot to get Drake May. That should be a tip-off that multiple NFL teams really like him. I don't have any problem with them passing on trade offers and drafting Drake May. You don't look – maybe it's because I'm based in Colorado, but you don't want to be on this quarterback hamster wheel forever. It's a horrible experience in the NFL to be starting the Trevor Siemians of the world every year. If you got a shot at Drake May and you believe in him, you draft him. It might not work out. It doesn't work out. It might not work out with those 3 first-round picks either. That's the nature of the NFL draft. But I have no problem at all with the Patriots drafting Drake May and saying, hey, yeah, we're not ready for you yet, but we're going to use 7 of our 8 picks on offense, and we're going to figure this out as we go.
Frank Schwab in tonight, YahooSports.com, the place. I go there every day, national NFL writer. Frank, always enjoy it. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Frank Schwab, YahooSports.com, national NFL writer on the Nate Brown Show tonight. His reaction to the draft, always love getting different perspective. Find him on Twitter X at Yahoo Schwab. Into the drive at 5 on a Wednesday. We got to talk Minnesota Twins. Why? Well, they've won 10 games in a row. Well, that's something, right? 10 games in a row. You're not going to get to play the White Sox all year, but nonetheless, they won 10 in a row. But the Twins have a mess on their hands. You may know this. We'll discuss it next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show.
Lace them up, basketball fans. It's time for the Box Out 5v5 basketball tournament. The Box Elder Event Center is hosting the Ultimate Showdown May 24th through 26th. We're calling all players from grades 6 through 12 to step up with their team, show off their skills, and compete for the championship. Registration is open now. Don't miss this thrilling tournament. Sign up your team today at thebox.live. From gatherings to games, think inside the box.
Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort has the #1 sportsbook in Deadwood, and it's powered by BetMGM. Watch all your favorite games in our comfortable and spacious sports lounge with wall-to-wall television arrays. Don't miss a second of the action with the Listen Everywhere audio system and get sound streamed directly to your headphones. And win big with our brand new Grand Slam Streak promotion. Make a qualifying bet daily and you could win up to $1,000 just for riding a hot streak. So come on into South Dakota's #1 sportsbook at Tin Lizzie, where it's always game on.
Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club in Spearfish invites you for the best golfing experience that South Dakota has to offer. Elkhorn Ridge has been ranked by Golf Digest as the #1 public course in the state. Off exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers an 18-hole championship layout with breathtaking views and an experience second to none. South Dakota's #1 public golf course is right in your backyard. Book a tee time and hit the course at Elkhorn Ridge. Visit elkhornridgeresort.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Do you have a financial game plan for your life? Hi, this is Lee Cruz, your local trusted New York Life agent here in Rapid City. My passion is helping you put the pieces in place for your family to make sure your game plan is a success. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping people like yourself take action in securing their future. Don't wait, take action and Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. We will work together on putting your family first.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear. Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Remember to catch me weekday mornings from 7 until 10 a.m. right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, back to Rapid City's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome in. The Nate Brown Show into the second hour. We call it the Drive at 5. You've made it on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Drive at 5 brought to you by Summit Automotive Group. Pre-owned vehicles at Summit, great quality, right? So you got to start there. Great selection. But it's car buying built around you. No high-pressure sales, gimmicky stuff. Stacy and Matt and their staff, they have the right vehicles, the right treatment. Car buying built around you with the right financing for you and your family. So experience the Summit difference. I invite you to start at SummitAutoGRP.com. If you're in the market for pre-owned, the best is experience at SummitAutoGRP.com. Start there on your phone. Take a look. Matt Zimmer's coming up from Sioux Falls. SiouxFallsLive.com. We'll shoot it around with Matt Zimmer. Brand new guest tonight from New York City. New York City. Wow. Derek Futterman, Barrett Sports Media. He covers the media game. And that's where we start in the Drive at 5 of the Nate Brown Show here on Fox Sports Rapid City. The media game, oh, who cares? You know, I don't care what games are on here and what channel has this and what channel has that. I understand, but we got a situation here in Minnesota. And so here's what's going on. The Minnesota Twins fans in the Twin Cities and in Sioux Falls, and even here in Rapid City, if you have Midco, you can't watch the Twins on Bally Sports North. Have you guys noticed this? I mean, we have Twins fans, right? So I learned that a long time ago. There's a lot of Twins fans around here. We used to have a Twins caravan that came through and very popular, the whole thing. So the Twins are on Bally Sports North. This used to be the whole regional Fox Sports North. I mean, you go way back with this stuff. Now it's Bally Sports North, and the games are off the air. So Midco has a message up there right now. Minnesota Twins, I mean, the season just started. They just won today, by the way, their 10th straight win. So Twins are on fire, getting back in the AL Central race. Midco message says, Bally Sports is no longer available. Thanks a lot. So this is a Major League Baseball thing that I was afraid was going to happen. They got into a deal, these teams, with Bally Sports, and they have these regional networks all over Florida, here, upper Midwest, and all over the place. Well, here's the problem. You're like, well, what's going on? Why is Bally Sports North off the air on Midco, on Comcast? By the way, I have the Twins games. You guys can't come over all the time, but I have the Twins games on Bally Sports North. I have DirecTV from Wire for USA, nonetheless, our great partner. So I have DirecTV. I've got the games. But a lot of people, Midco, Comcast, like people that have Comcast, huge cable company in the Twin Cities, they can't watch the Twins at all because Bally Sports North is gone. Why? Here's the deal. Bally Sports is going through bankruptcy proceedings. They're owned by a company called Diamond Sports. Okay? Long story. Bankruptcy proceedings. They have $8 billion in debt, this regional sports network they're trying to retire. $8 billion in debt. So they're going through bankruptcy. They're trying to still do deals with people like, hey, we still want our channel on Comcast. We still want our channel on Midco. And so Midco and Comcast, they have to pay Bally Sports a fee, right? And then they pass that along to us. That's how this cable TV business works. So Midco's like, hey, we'll give you this much. We want your channel. And so everybody blames everybody today. Midco said, oh, we tried negotiating. Sorry, Bally Sports wouldn't negotiate with us. Bally Sports is saying, Midco and Comcast, they just wouldn't negotiate with us. So sorry. And who else is in this mix? The Minnesota Twins. It's not like the Twins are just out in left field. The Twins are saying, sorry, we have no control over Bally Sports. We signed a contract with them. We don't have any control over their negotiations with cable carriers. Sorry. And so the Twins fans are left going, this is one of those frustrating things. You turn on your TV. Sorry, Bally Sports is going through negotiations with your cable company. If you really want to watch Bally Sports, it's like, give me a break. And so I'm going to tell you guys, who is to blame on the Twins? 10 straight wins. They're off the air. You can't even watch them if you've got cable, Midco, and Comcast in the Twin Cities. I mean, people are going crazy. I'm watching them. Big Twins fans, they're trying to watch the team in their own market, and they can't. And so who's to blame on this thing? I just explained how this whole thing went down. Bankruptcy proceedings for Bally Sports. They're in trouble. They got $8 billion in debt. The cable companies are trying to give them a fee, but I don't know if it's too high of a fee. I don't have any idea. But they can't come to agreement to carry Bally Sports, so you don't have the Twins games. But you know who to blame, right? There is a person to blame, not a cable company. I mean, yeah, maybe. Not Bally Sports. Well, yeah, maybe. How do you get $8 billion in debt? But nonetheless, I don't like, people that have to, we're going through bankruptcy, and somehow we come out the other way, and we're even better. These big companies never seem to fail. But nonetheless, because if that was you or me going through bankruptcy, look out. We wouldn't be getting a contract with the Twins, I have a feeling. Nonetheless, who's to blame on this? It's your Minnesota Twins front office. That's it. Why do I say that? They're saying we don't have any control over this. The cable company, the negotiations, we don't have any control. You know who they do have control? Who do you sign a deal with to carry your games? Well, what other options are there? They could do their own in-house stuff if they really wanted to invest. I understand. It gets a little pricey. I understand. They could do a direct-to-consumer deal. They could get this, public over-the-air. The Phoenix Suns decided, we're not going to take a bunch of money from a cable company or a TV partner. We're going to give the Phoenix Suns games to the entire metro for free, over the air. And so they made the conscious effort. We want people to be fans, be engaged, watch our games, and then maybe they'll buy our stuff, come to our games. So instead of taking the money and run, Phoenix decided we're going to put Suns games on over-the-air TV. Just over the air. You could pick it up in Phoenix. The Twins wanted to, guess what? Oh, we'll do a 1-year deal with a bankrupt company. Yeah, you know how much Bally Sports paid the Twins in their deal, the last one they did? $55 million. So it's not chump change here. So Bally Sports paid the Twins in their last deal $55 million a year. A year. So I look at it from the Twins side. I don't know what that number is there. They did a 1-year deal with Bally Sports. We'll do 1-year deal and then we'll figure it out down the road. So they got some money. I don't know if it was $55 million, but a bankrupt company, you're going to sign a deal with them because you wanted the money, and then you're surprised in May 1st when the bankrupt company is getting dropped by cable channels. So the Twins, they made the mess. The Twins can decide, should we do this? Should we do that? Nah, we'll just do a 1-year deal with a bankrupt company. Big miss. And now the Twins, 10 straight wins, and there's a huge chunk of fans here that are Twins fans that are just getting ticked off by the day. And I blame the Twins. Who do you blame, by the way? Let's look at the poll question on the Nate Brown Show. Who gets the blame for the Twins not being on the air? Who gets the blame? Bally Sports not carrying the games in Sioux Falls, Rapid City, Twin Cities. 51% of you voting for Bally, saying they're a bankrupt company. 31% Twins, they chose a bad media partner. 18% the cable companies. So 51% saying Bally's. Yeah, I mean, they're not great. I mean, as I said, going through bankruptcy proceedings, they've had big issues for a long time, and you don't just have that happen. You just kept kicking the can down the road, and now you're like, whoops, we got a problem. People have been dropping cable, and we're kind of bleeding. But I say the Twins. You could have made a better choice, a better media partner, or guess what? Direct to consumer. Go right over free over the public airwaves. Something. But I'm thinking they wanted that money. They needed that money. You don't just drop in an extra $55 million in the budget if it's gone. Coming right back with Matt Zimmer, SiouxFallsLive.com. He's on the way.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City.
The wait is over. Ensemble entry doors exclusively from Renewal by Andersen have arrived with an incredible offer. Secure, timeless style, elegant features, customized countless ways with the legendary quality of Renewal by Andersen. Right now, you get 20% off every Ensemble entry door. No money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. No payments for a year. Please scan the QR code on your screen or visit RBARapidCity.com now to book your free estimate. Ensemble entry doors, the wait is over.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
SUVs, Danny Emanuel Rapid Chevrolet. That's where. Shop GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Plus, used Chevys and GM certified pre-owned. Many are late model local trades. Shop over 300 used vehicles and buy with no money down and no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. 16 local and national lenders available and all applications accepted. And we're paying top dollar for all trades. See us at Danny Emanuel Rapid Chevrolet or DannyEmanuelRapidChevrolet.com.
The Horseshoe Restaurant at First Gold in Deadwood makes dining out delicious and affordable. Every Wednesday from 11 till 8 p.m. Enjoy traditional wings for $1 or boneless wings for 50 cents. Served with your pick of 12 different sauces. Thursday, it's 2 for $20 burger night. Big and fresh burgers with your choice of side. And on Friday and Saturday, enjoy a 6-ounce sirloin steak with choice of side and dinner salad for only $12.95. Big flavor at a friendly price at the Horseshoe Restaurant at First Gold Gaming Resort in Deadwood.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, your sports, your show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, live weekdays 4 to 6. The Nate Brown Show. Glad you're here. Hope you've had a solid day. We're grinding through the week, right? You're grinding. We're in the drive at 5. Remember, if you missed some of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every guest, every show in its entirety right there. Just search the Nate Brown Show where you get your podcast. Maybe you're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple. Search the Nate Brown Show. It's every show. Don't repeat guests. We had Tip Ryman yesterday. Good discussion with draft pick for the Cardinals. Mark Gronowski earlier tonight. Quarterback coming back to South Dakota State, joined us live. Search the Nate Brown Show, and you've got us on the podcast platform. Matt Zimmer's in tonight, covers the Jackson Moore, SiouxFallsLive.com. Great coverage, SiouxFallsLive.com. If you haven't hit the site, Matt Zimmer, sports writer for Sioux Falls Live. Matt, good to have you. How are you?
I'm pretty good, Nate. How are you?
Doing good. I got to ask you about this because you're a big baseball guy, so I got to get you in on this. I just did a full segment on the Minnesota Twins. I'm not an expert, but I did a full segment on this TV situation. I've got DirecTV. We have a great partner, Wire Free USA. A little plug for Wire Free USA. So I watched I could see the Twins, Bally Sports North. If you got Midco, you're out. Twin Cities, Comcast, a huge company there, they're out. Bally Sports North is off because the cable company couldn't come up with an agreement to carry Bally Sports North. And I'm asking you, Matt Zimmer, what's the real fault here? Twins, Bally's, cable company. Where you stand?
Everybody's at fault a little bit, which I think is kind of the cop-out answer. But I think
that's right, though, by the way.
I think it's Major League Baseball's fault. Why are we in the year 2024 still making it so hard for customers to give you money for the product that they want? I mean, it's not hard to watch NFL football. It's not hard to watch NBA basketball. For whatever reason, MLB just keeps stabbing itself in the eye trying to figure this out. Cable's obviously dying, cord cutting and streaming is the future and everything, but this could have happened 10 years ago when MLB Network became a thing. If people don't want to pay for cable, if people don't want to try and watch it through DirecTV or YouTube TV or whatever, why can't they just pay baseball, Major League Baseball, $200 a year for a season pass to watch their team on MLB Network or the app, the way you can out of market? I can do that to watch the Tigers or the Giants or somebody, but I can't watch the Twins. Just get rid of those stupid blackout rules because, for one thing, why are you blacking out people that live 200 miles away from the stadium? That, to me, is such an easy solution. We won't have to deal with any of this. Come up with some, and whatever you charge, whether it's $100 a year or $300, $500 a year, that's still cheaper than subscribing to cable or all these other things. I mean, I don't know why that's so hard, and I don't know why Rob Manfred and the owners can't figure out that that's the simple solution: is let people watch your games.
Yeah,
I'm tired of hearing about how it's Comcast's fault or the team's fault or whatever. I mean, I understand everyone's chasing the dollar, but people are out there trying to give you their money. Find a way for you to take it so they can watch your product.
Yeah, so you just explained it. If you get like MLB.TV, okay, I'm good. I can watch my Cubs, like I'm a Cubs fan. So I'm good there. But if you're in the market, Minnesota, you're in that region, oh, sorry, the Twins are blacked out on this. I know you have a subscription to it, but your team is blacked out. It's bizarre. I'm going to ask you, Bally Sports North, so Twins signed a deal with them. The last one they had was $55 million a year from Bally's they gave the Twins. that tells me the Twins are like, well, we'll do another year. They decided to do 1-year deal with Bally's this year, knowing they were going through bankruptcy. I take a pause on that.
Well, that was obviously, in hindsight, a bad move, but I know why they did it. That was what was going to make them the most money. Bally still has to pay the Twins whatever they agreed to. The number hasn't come out, but let's say it's $40 million. Bally still has to give the Twins that $40 million this year,
right,
whether people in the Twin Cities are watching it on Comcast or not. So I don't necessarily fault the Twins for doing that because they're trying to protect their bottom line. I understand it's a business, but also then don't turn around and try and blame it on them. You knew exactly who you were, getting into bed with, for lack of a better phrase, a company that's battling, like you said, bankruptcy. I mean, this should not have come as a surprise. I think if there's any silver lining, it's, right now, Diamond Sports Group, the group that owns Bally, and Comcast, Midco, all these cable companies, they're both losing money by this happening. So there is obviously a strong motivator for them to come back to the table and figure something out and come to an agreement and get the games back on TV. But in the meantime, I mean, I'm giving them a week, and if they don't figure it out, I'm going to cancel my cable. I haven't cut the cord yet. I've been keeping cable largely to keep watching the Twins and Timberwolves up here.
Okay.
If they're not gonna show that, I guess I'm the latest one to switch to streaming and get rid of cable after 40 years of having it.
Interesting. So it's not just the Twins, by the way. I saw Bally Southeast down in Florida. They can't get a deal either. Comcast dropped them down there. So I'm looking at how this is going to play out. Is Major League Baseball, you kind of touched on it, Matt, they're going to have to take over, and these regional sports networks, this has been a failed model lately. MLB's going to have to take over and say, hey, here's what we got here. They're going to have to come to an agreement with all organizations or something.
Yeah, regional sports networks are, an artifact of the cable days, and the cable days are ending, if not soon to be over. That model isn't going to work anymore. They're going to have to figure something out, like I said, some sort of streaming situation where I think you give people the ability, the right to say, I'm just going to subscribe to watch the Twins. They talked about it for the last couple of years, having a Bally Sports app where you could just get this app and watch the Twins on there or the Timberwolves or the Wild or whatever. That's what they got to do. Like I said, people are out there begging to give you their money. Take their money, give them the product they want. It's not that hard.
Matt Zimmer on tonight. He's a Twins fan, if you can tell. SiouxFallsLive.com sports writer. Let's go to the Jacks here. I want to talk about draft. First, I'll go with Mark Gronowski. He announces he's coming back. He told me tonight, hey, there were some offers. There was some money out there. He said it maybe wasn't life-changing, but there was money. He comes back. What did you think of his decision?
That's what I expected all along. Once he came back to play spring ball with the Jacks, I just didn't think he would have it in him, I guess, to go through spring practice with the guys and then turn around and say, okay, I'm leaving. I mean, it was always a possibility just because, like you said, if life-changing money came along, you can't fault a kid for taking that, especially, a guy like Gronowski. We don't know for sure if he's going to play in the NFL. He's not a J.J. McCarthy or a Caleb Williams that we know he's going to be a first-round pick. So if he has an opportunity to make money like that, he's kind of got to take it. But once he didn't make that move in the immediate aftermath of the Jacks winning and then Zach Lujan going to Northwestern, because that's where everyone assumed he's going to go. He's from Chicago. Lujan's at Northwestern. When that didn't happen right away, I felt pretty confident that he was going to come back, went through spring ball, said all the right things about being a good teammate and helping the guys out and learning the offense with a new coordinator coming in. And there was always a chance, but I felt like it was a slim chance. And, I know he's not talking about it, but I'm pretty sure the Jacks gave him some money too. I mean, we heard them announce, I think the weekend of the national championship game, that they were launching a collective of their own for NIL reasons. I don't know exactly what the offers were from Northwestern or any other school, but I know the Jacks have gotten into a situation now where can they compete with a UCLA, a Michigan, an Ohio State when it comes to NIL money? Of course not. But if they can come up with something to say, hey, we can't offer you what these guys over here are offering, but we can give you something, a little incentive to stick around, I think that'll help SDSU in the short term and probably played a role in this, I would guess.
How about the guys that did get drafted this year? So Mason McCormick, the first guy off the board, he's going to the Steelers. That was expected. I mean, he was kind of the highly touted guy. Isaiah Davis. You think, Matt, these guys are going to have careers? Tucker Kraft has taken off already.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the guys that are in the NFL that have come out of South Dakota State, South Dakota, even Augustana, USF, the guys that have come from the state of South Dakota to go on to the NFL, none of them have been bust. That doesn't mean they've all, gone on to be Pro Bowlers or Hall of Famers or anything, but guys that have been drafted in the late rounds have made teams, have stuck around the league for a few years. Guys that have been drafted in the earlier rounds, the Dallas Goederts, the Tucker Krafts, have become impact players. I don't see any reason that won't continue. I mean, if you look at the track record by now of guys that come out of South Dakota State, guys that come out of USD, I mean, Jack Cochran, an undrafted free agent, essentially walked on for the Chiefs, and now he's on that team, has a Super Bowl ring. I think he started a couple games this year. Christian Roseboom was undrafted. He's now starting for the Rams. C.J. Ham out of Augustana, 10-year pro, 2-time Pro Bowler. Two guys out of USF, Trey Pipkins and Dennis Gardeck, are both starters. There's just no reason to think that guys that come out of South Dakota, and then specifically South Dakota State, the Missouri Valley Conference, how strong that league has become, that they're not going to go on to the NFL and succeed. Is Isaiah Davis going to, have a 10-year career and rush for 10,000 yards in the NFL? Probably not, but I expect him to have a career, maybe get a second contract. Mason McCormick's going to have a chance to start as a rookie. I think he'll probably open the season coming off the bench or being a rotation guy, but it's not going to be long before he's playing, before he's part of the Steelers' offensive line. I wouldn't be surprised if Garrett Greenfield, who didn't even get drafted, ends up having a career in the NFL. I mean, it's just the football in South Dakota has gotten so good, and I'm not just talking about the Jackrabbits. The Missouri Valley, Division II, high school football, all of it. You mentioned Tip Ryman. The caliber of football is just so good in South Dakota right now that when those guys get those chances, I just don't have any doubt that they're going to go up there and succeed.
What do you think of the Yankee twins going to Houston together? I didn't know the scenario there, but they're undrafted free agents and they go to the same team.
It's an awesome story. I can't imagine how fun and memorable that will be for them to experience that together. But when I heard about it, I was like, what are you guys doing? You're you're competing with each other. Probably not going to keep both of you. I mean, it's such a long shot for them to make the team. And if it's the two of them, then they're kind of competing against each other. So that's interesting. We'll see how that plays out. I think both of those guys, being undrafted free agents, I don't think they're probably going to be starting in the NFL this next year, but they're both the kind of guys that could come in a tryout situation, not tryout, they were signed to contracts, could maybe get on a practice squad, work their way up the same way a Christian Roseboom did. Cade Johnson with the Seahawks is an SDSU guy that's been on the practice squad. I mean, when the Yankees came out of Madison to join the Jacks, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, maybe they'll be a decent third or fourth receiver for the Jacks. They ended up being starters. And then when they were starters, I was like, well, I don't know if they're going to be all conference or anything. And they ended up being All-Americans. I mean, I'm just done doubting those two. I mean, at this point, I just don't put anything past them. It's going to be a long shot. And like I said, I feel like they're competing against each other, but good luck to them. It's a cool story.
I was going to say, if one brother makes it, the other doesn't. Look out. That's a fierce competition. I don't know what I would do if I was going against my brother. I would lose. I know that. Matt Zimmer tonight, SiouxFallsLive.com for his coverage. Sports writer on Twitter at Matt J. Zimmer. Matt, always good. Thanks a lot.
You bet, Nate. See ya.
Appreciate it. Matt Zimmer checks in from SiouxFallsLive.com. Sports writer, covers the Jacks and more out at SiouxFallsLive.com. Yeah, I saw that one. The Yankee twins, the wide receivers for South Dakota State, All-Americans, great players. They undrafted free agents, so you kind of get to decide where to go if you don't know that story. It's like, well, I got this opportunity, this one, or this one. They both go to the Houston Texans. They both go there, and now they're going to fight for the roster spot there potentially. We'll see how that plays out. Derek Futterman is in from New York City. He covers the media rights game. Media rights game. Barrett Sports Media Analyst, and Derek joins us live next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
The wait is over. Ensemble entry doors exclusively from Renewal by Andersen have arrived with an incredible offer. Secure, timeless style, elegant features, customized countless ways with the legendary quality of Renewal by Andersen. Right now, you get 20% off every Ensemble entry door. No money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. No payments for a year. Please scan the QR code on your screen or visit RBARapidCity.com now to book your free estimate. Ensemble Entry Doors, the wait is over.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their number one priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Building projects can be complex. The risks are great and time is money. Consolidated Construction of Rapid City simplifies the process by being your advocate, guiding you through funding, design, and construction. They manage the players and the schedule and marry the design to your budget so you get the most for your investment. They promise an energizing experience before, during, and after construction. It's not enough that you get a quality building. They pledge you'll experience quality every step of the way. Consolidated Construction. OneCallToBuild.com.
Hey, it's Chris Broussard. Remember to catch the Odd Couple weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, let's get back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, thank you, Chris Broussard. Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. Streaming live right now on Twitter, X, at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show, interact with us, and watch us live at Nate Brown Show on Twitter, X. The Nate Brown Show driven by Spearfish Motors. Your home for the new 2024 GMCs and Cadillacs. That's the dealership, locally owned. Not too many of those new car and truck dealerships locally owned left. Usually huge companies. But Spearfish Motors, online at spearfishmotors.com. Derek Futterman's on tonight, sports media reporter. BarrettSportsMedia.com. I follow these guys heavy. Really plugged in on the sports media game. Really good stuff. BarrettSportsMedia.com. Derek, good to have you on. How are you?
Doing well. Nice to join you, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate your time. So I'm going to hit on a couple of things I want your reaction to. One is this Major League Baseball scenario and like the Minnesota Twins. So here's what's going on. Bally Sports North is going through bankruptcy. That's Diamond Sports. That's their parent company. They're going through bankruptcy, Derek. Well, Twins fans here in South Dakota and even in the Twin Cities, if they have Comcast, if they have Midco, they're not able to watch the Twins now. This is a Major League Baseball scenario that nobody really got out in front of, Derek, meaning you can get MLB TV, but then I can't watch the Twins if I'm in their home market anyway. How does this get figured out?
Yeah, I mean, they've been in bankruptcy proceedings, and I know the league has compelled the bankruptcy court to push Diamond to reach a resolution, but quite frankly, with the situation with Diamond, they were unable to reach a renewal with Comcast, and that deadline passed last night. So right now, I know if you turn on your television with that cable provider, essentially you're getting a blue screen. You're not able to see the game. So ultimately, the way that this gets resolved is, one, with Comcast, they have to reach an agreement to distribute those games, a carriage agreement. And then there's the bankruptcy court. Right now, they're trying to finalize some things. They may have a creditor vote, shareholder vote. And then there's a hearing scheduled for mid-June that could ultimately be the impetus to get Diamond out of this and keep the RSNs alive. But right now, it's just kind of a holding period, and we'll know more if they can come to an agreement. I guess getting Comcast back is the first step in that.
Okay, so moving forward, I'm thinking big picture. Like, I've seen teams like the Suns. They're going over-the-air broadcasts. Now, that means they're not getting a big media deal, $50 million, $60 million a year. But they say, we're going to go over-the-air broadcast. They're not the only ones, but they're in on that. Do you ever think more teams are going to do this, or is a media deal just too valuable?
Well, right now, I mean, you've seen it in just, the Phoenix Suns you mentioned, MLB distributing some games for teams. I mean, this happened with the Diamondbacks and the Rockies last year because of the bankruptcy. But, just the way that the teams are being distributed these days, over the air seems to be the compelling way to go because of the amount of cord cutting. I mean, last year alone, I read something the other day that I think they estimated that the cable companies had lost a lot of pay TV subscribers. I think it was around 5 million last year, the major pay TV companies. So that number continues to dwindle. Everyone's focusing on digital distribution, but also over-the-air is really valuable. I mean, I know if we get into the NBA rights, you're seeing the potential of the league going to NBC, and NBC has an over-the-air channel, whereas TNT is cable. So it's kind of a scenario playing out all over right now.
Derek Futterman's on tonight, sports media reporter for BarrettSportsMedia.com. He's on Twitter X at Derek Futterman. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. So Twins in a scenario, and the Royals, too, down in Kansas City. I saw they're dropped because of the Bally's deal and Comcast. Okay, let's go to the NBA thing. So they're working on a deal. The negotiating window is passed, essentially, but things are still working here. I'm looking at NBC and how much they may be willing to commit. Do you think NBC is going to get back in the NBA game?
Well, the Wall Street Journal, $2.5 billion is what it was reported as they are going to potentially bid for the NBA. And I believe right now, off the top of my head, ESPN and Warner Brothers Discovery, I think that deal's worth $2.6 right now billion. So, look, I mean, Warner Brothers reports have indicated that they can match any deal that the NBA gets there. So we'll see what happens. But right now, if NBC is at $2.5 billion, it depends what Warner Brothers wants to do, Warner Brothers Discovery, if they want to keep the NBA. I know a lot of people seem to think that there's appeal with inside the NBA and the tradition of the NBA on TNT, but it is very possible that NBC could get a package. But at the same time, then do you think, all right, does the league want to stay with TNT, the brand that it's been with for quite a long time, and maybe it gives it a smaller fourth package? But again, nothing there is determined, and still a very fluid situation from what I'm understanding.
So the reporting I've seen, Derek, is the NBA wants to double their previous deal. Can they get there with all of these partners?
Well, we're not quite sure right now because there were reports that ESPN, Disney rather, is going to get the league back, and Amazon is getting a package as well for streaming. Again, nothing confirmed. This is all just reporting at the moment from various sources. But, look, until we see what's being paid there, I'm not sure. I mean, honestly, with Amazon getting in and continuing with Disney and then potentially bringing in NBC or staying with Warner Brothers or a combination, it's very feasible to me that they could double the $2.6 billion they were getting.
Derek Futterman on tonight, BarrettSportsMedia.com. He's a sports media reporter. One more on the NBA. So I look at it and say, people will ask, is every sports, the rights to every sports league just going to continue to go up? And I'm going to ask you from this standpoint. You cover it. Streaming's in the mix. Other massive TV companies are in the mix. Do you think there will be ever a flat line, okay, that's it, or is live sports the ticket?
Live sports is keeping linear television alive to a degree right now. It's scheduled programming, gives people reason to tune in. I mean, you can watch a sports game on demand, sure, but the outcome will already be determined. So there's very much a value proposition there right now. But the problem, I guess, is that there's going to eventually be a limit. You just have to determine. I guess it depends on league revenue and a variety of things. I mean, it'll be really interesting because a lot of reports have said that ESPN could opt out of its deal with Major League Baseball after the season. And I guess you then have to think about, all right, does the league or ESPN, is there a renegotiation to try to get more money out of that deal? So not quite sure, but right now it just seems to be going up and up and up. But remember, a lot of the key deals also with the key professional leagues have been agreed upon. I mean, and the Big Ten just signed the deal with NBC, CBS, and I believe Fox as well. And then also, you had the NFL, you had the NHL sign already. So there's a lot of possibilities still.
By the way, NBC, if they get the NBA, you expect a lot of games on Peacock? They've been kind of going that route.
Well, they averaged 23 million in average minute audience during the wild card game, and they retained pretty much 7 out of 10, just about 71% of subscribers, according to a study from Antenna, from that wild card game 7 weeks after it aired. So I would presume that, Peacock's very much part of NBC's plan, would be my guess, and you would see a lot of games airing on Peacock. The question is, would they be exclusive to Peacock? And I think that's something that we could get some more clarity on if a deal is reached.
Derek Futterman's in tonight on the Nate Brown Show, sports media reporter. It's BarrettSportsMedia.com. Really good site to stay plugged in, Derek. I appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Derek Futterman, sports media reporter live, BarrettSportsMedia.com. I follow those guys closely. They can get you plugged in on a lot of the sports media stuff. Really interesting. BarrettSportsMedia.com. So that's the latest is the NBA trying to get a new media rights deal. So where's the NBA going to be? Right now they're on ESPN and TNT. Okay? And now NBC planning to offer a big deal, it looks like. NBC. Now, I would love to see the NBA back on NBC, right? That's classic. It's classic. But then you go to the streaming part. They're going to put games on Peacock. And then guess what? They're going to put some NBA playoff games on Peacock. You see how that works? Matt Kearney's okay with it because he made me get Peacock for the last time they did this in the NFL. If they're going to put a wild card game, the NFL, on Peacock, you better believe they'll put multiple NBA playoff games on Peacock. That's it. It's not quite as attractive as the NFL one. That was a big one. But it'll get some different people to Peacocks like, hey, we have this NBA playoff series. It's Nuggets-Lakers. The only way you can watch it's Peacock. They'll get some. Not as big as the $23 million for the NFL, but they'll get some. By the way, have I gotten rid of Peacock? Have I gotten rid of it? So I got the, $7 a month package, I think. Have I gotten rid of it since that wild card game? I have not. Why? I don't know. They got me. I'm one of them. They retained me. Who's hot and who's not tonight on a Wednesday, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. I got some interesting stuff in front of me here when it comes to my who's hot and who's not. You're just going to have to stick around. I'm going to blast it out next.
This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Have you been waiting for the perfect time to buy a new Harley-Davidson? We have great news for you. During Black Hills Harley-Davidson's 2023 model year-end closeout, you can use your good credit to buy select Harleys with 0 down and rates as low as 1.99%. Plus, get an additional $2,000 for your trade. Come shop the Midwest's largest selection of new Harley-Davidsons today at Black Hills Harley-Davidson off I-90 at exit 55 in Rapid City, or shop online at blackhillshd.com.
Attention please. The new loaded cheesy ranch sticks at Pizza Ranch are loaded with flavor. Skillet crust, melty cheese, herbs, spices, and now up to 2 of your favorite toppings like pepperoni, sausage, jalapenos, and bacon. You've really got to get a load of these. Like literally, get a whole load of them. Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Stop into your local Pizza Ranch with 2 Rapid City locations. Their buffet open daily 11 to 8 and order online at pizzaranch.com.
Warren Chemical and Equipment Company has a 5-step lawn care program to make your lawn the best it can be. Let Warren take care of your lawn weeds, plus 5 applications of fertilizer and micronutrients for a green, healthy lawn. We also offer lawn aeration to help your lawn breathe. Warren's 5-step Lawn Pro Service is the original lawn service company in Rapid City. Single applications of weed and feed or just lawn weeds are also available. Call Warren Chemical and Equipment Company for an estimate on our 5-step lawn care program for your lawn. Phone 342-7644.
Nearly 150 years ago,
Americans didn't race across the plains to settle. They pioneered. They toiled and ground the land into the world we know today, creating opportunities, not just for themselves, but for future generations. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Member FDIC.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, here we are on a Wednesday in the Nate Brown Show. Thanks for listening. Great lineup tonight. We had Mark Gronowski on. Great discussion with the South Dakota State quarterback who doesn't go transfer portal, doesn't go NIL. He comes back to the Jacks, trying to three-peat as national champs. We had Mark Gronowski on tonight. He just announced he's coming back last night. Frank Schwab in, Matt Zimmer from Sioux Falls Live. Frank Schwab, Yahoo Sports. Sean Keeler from Denver. That was something. Always a great treat. Sean Keeler, Denver Post. The Nate Brown Show podcast is where you can find the show when we get it up there after we're done live tonight. Search The Nate Brown Show wherever you get your podcast. Who's hot and who's not? Wrapping it up tonight. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. PizzaRanch.com. Carry out or delivery specials right now. PizzaRanch.com. 2 locations in Rapid City. Locally owned. Great buffet. The best in town at the Pizza Ranch. In our Who's Hot category tonight, there's an NFL team who is launching their own fan cruise this next year. A 7-night trip from Los Angeles to the Mexican Riviera. They're going to have an open bar for these NFL fans, mini golf, a casino, autograph sessions with former alumni players. Rooms on this NFL cruise, $2,500 to $16,000. That's my Who's Hot category. It sounds like a fun time. I'm going to go on here with Bronco fans and Bronco alumni like Steve Atwater, Terrell Davis. Oh, that would be just something, right? Be on there talking Broncos, drinking a little bit, talking shop. But you know who's doing it? The Raiders. All right. Maybe I could crash that party. Would I survive as a Broncos fan on a Raider fan cruise? Good idea. NFL fan cruise. I'm wishing it was the Broncos. I should try that one. How about a Fox Sports Rapid City fan cruise down to Denver? How about a fan bus? How about a bus or something to watch Bo Nix? Huh? All right. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, here's a story. You know, the A's are moving to Las Vegas, right? It's going to take years here to get the stadium going and the whole thing. The Athletics have hired an investment firm to come up with more money for their stadium. So they're going to get some money, $380 million in public financing from Las Vegas. But they had to hire a firm to fundraise more money. Yes, honestly, the Athletics just hired them this week. They specialize in sports financing. This is out of the LA Times. The Athletics want to get an additional $500 million from this company, and they got to fundraise it. You know what they're offering? Investors could be rewarded with a minority share in the Athletics franchise. Hey, for $5 million, you could have 1% of the Athletics, the Las Vegas A's. How about that? I did not know we'd be getting a company to fundraise to build a stadium in Las Vegas for the A's. Trying to get $500 million. Good luck. Coming right back tomorrow at 4, the Nate Brown Show live and ready, and the Nate Brown Show podcast, a good one today. It's going up right now. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4.
Article recently about the changing of the guard